Have you ever walked into a room and felt eyes on you? Like you were suddenly the center of attention without wanting to be. Maybe you adjusted your clothes, fixed your hair, or pretended to look busy, even though no one had said a word. That strange, sinking feeling that people are watching you, judging you, noticing everything you do. What if I told you it's not real, but your brain thinks it is on purpose? Today, we're diving into one of the most quietly powerful psychological illusions we all fall for, the spotlight effect. And once you understand it, your world, your anxiety, your confidence will change more than you expect. Picture this. You're sitting in a meeting, or a classroom, or a coffee shop. You cough, and instantly, it feels like everyone is judging the volume of your lungs. You drop something, your keys, your pen, and suddenly it feels like you've committed a public crime. Or worse, you walk in late and it feels like the entire universe turned its head just to witness your entrance. We've all felt it. But here's the twist. No one noticed as much as you think they did. This isn't because people are careless or self-absorbed. It's because your brain is wired to treat your own life like a massive spotlight is pointed at you at all times. You are the main character of your story, so your mind assumes everyone else sees you that way too. The tension here, that spotlight is an illusion, but it feels real. And that gap, that little tug of war between your perception and reality, is where the anxiety lives. Psychologists call this a cognitive bias, a mental shortcut. Your brain likes shortcuts because they're efficient.
But sometimes efficiency comes at a cost. One of the first major studies on this had student volunteers wear an embarrassingly bright Barry Manilow t-shirt. Terrifying, right? Then they walked into a room full of strangers and later guessed how many people noticed the shirt. Their guess? About half the room. The reality? Barely a handful. But here's the important part for you. The embarrassment didn't come from the shirt. It came from the belief that everyone else cared. Pause there for a moment. How much of your anxiety comes not from what you did, but from what you think others saw? The reason you feel watched is surprisingly human. Your brain evolved in tight-knit groups where being noticed was tied to survival. If others stared, it often meant danger, judgment, or rejection. And rejection back then was deadly. So your brain learned a rule. People are watching. Be careful. Fast forward to now, and that instinct is still alive. Except today, the stakes aren't survival. They're social.
Emotional, internal. You're not afraid people will exile you from a village. You're afraid they'll think you're awkward or messy or not enough. But what if the real fear is simply this? You're afraid others think about you the way you think about yourself. And here's the surprise. The spotlight effect isn't just about fear. Sometimes it shows up in more subtle ways. Ever thought someone was staring because you looked good that day? Ever believed people were noticing your success, your style, your new haircut? That's the same illusion, just with a different emotional filter. Your mind overestimates the attention you receive in both directions, when you feel insecure and when you feel proud. The common thread? Your brain thinks your life's camera is always rolling. But here's the most important truth of part one. People aren't staring at you, they're staring at themselves, just like you are. But knowing that doesn't make the feeling disappear, does it? So the real question becomes, why does your brain cling so tightly to this illusion? And how do you break free from it? Because once you can break the spotlight effect, the way you walk into a room, speak up, and carry yourself changes forever. The most frustrating thing about the spotlight effect is this. Even after you know it's an illusion, you still feel it. You tell yourself, I know no one is watching me, but your heartbeat says, girl, they definitely are. You try to sit still, act normal, keep it together, and suddenly you're hyper aware of how you're breathing, how you're walking, how your clothes fit, how your voice sounds. It's like your brain is running two operating systems at once. One that understands logic and another that's terrified you'll be judged just for existing. But this is where the script flips, because your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's misfiring, using an ancient system in a modern world. Think back. Our ancestors lived in tribes where every action was noticed. If you made a mistake, the whole group knew. If you looked out of place, eyes were on you. Being different mattered.
Your brain is trying to protect you from a danger that, for the most part, no longer exists. And sometimes it's protecting you from a danger you just imagined. So let's break that illusion with something simple and honest. While you're worried someone is staring at you, they're worried someone is staring at them. Think about it. Every single person in that room, that store, that gym, they are all the main character in their own story. They are all living inside their own insecurities, their own self-conscious thoughts. Right now, they're thinking, did I say that wrong? Is my outfit weird? Does my face look tired? Did they hear my stomach growl? Everyone is too worried about themselves to monitor the microscopic details of your life. And the few who do stare,
They're usually just lost in thought or noticing something simple, like the color of your shirt, or imagining their own stories that have nothing to do with you. Most of the time, people look at you the way they look at passing scenery, only for a second, before the next thought pulls them away. The spotlight isn't real. It's a trick of your mind. So let's talk about freedom, the kind that changes how you walk into a room. Here are 3 subtle shifts that dismantle the spotlight effect. First, redirect the camera. Instead of focusing on how you're being seen, focus on what you're seeing. Notice the room, the colors, the lighting, the other people. When your awareness expands outward, the imaginary audience dissolves because your brain is too busy observing to be self-obsessed. Second, remember the 24-hour rule. Ask yourself, will anyone remember this tiny, awkward thing tomorrow? The answer is almost always no. People don't catalog your behavior. They're too busy cataloging their own. And third, practice mistake exposure. This is powerful. Try doing small, harmless things that feel awkward on purpose.
excuse me, a little louder than you want to. Wear something slightly bolder. Ask a stranger for the time. These tiny moments train your brain to realize that being noticed isn't dangerous. Every time nothing bad happens, your mind updates its software. Your world opens up. So here's the truth, the kind that sticks with you. You think people are staring at you because you're staring at yourself. You think they're judging you because you judge yourself the hardest. You think they see every flaw, every stumble, every awkward moment because you've replayed those moments in your own head 100 times. But the world isn't your mirror. The world is full of people just trying to make it through the day without tripping over their own shadows. Most of the time, you walk through life unseen. Not because you're invisible, but because everyone else is too busy trying to hide from their own spotlight. And the moment you realize this, deep in your chest, not just in your mind, you become free. Free to walk into a room without shrinking, free to speak without second guessing, free to live without imagining an audience that was never there. The spotlight was never on you, it was always in your head. And now, you get to turn it off.
Before you go, I want you to remember something. Most of the pressure you feel out there, the worry, the overthinking, the fear of being judged, it isn't coming from other people. It's coming from the story your mind tells you about yourself. But now that you understand the spotlight effect, you can breathe differently. You can walk into a room without carrying imaginary eyes on your shoulders. You deserve that freedom. If this video helped you see yourself a little clearer, stay with me here on the channel. There's so much more we're going to explore. Your mind, your habits, your hidden strengths. You're not alone in this journey, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.